So from the design team side, we have a few updates we would really like to see in the next implemented this cycle. And this simple document kind of lists what kind of update we would like to have in the greeter. So the first and the most important one is to have the greeter as the log screen, because it was always designed to function as both the login screen and the log screen. So if you remember the wallpaper change, so that shows the user wallpaper and the indicators and such things. So we tried to implement that, but somehow someone can explain the block because it broke something else in the system, so it didn't land in Flow. So if we can have that now, that would be really good. And the second point is flicker-free login and unlock transitions. And the idea there is it's related to the user wallpaper and indicators story in the sense that we always wanted the transition from the login screen to the desktop to be really smooth and seamless. So basically that you type in your password, the greeter face out, and the wallpaper is all the time there, and then your windows and unit just face in. And at the moment the screen goes black. Sometimes you see the cursor and there's like all this figuring going on. So if we can get rid of that, that would be also really awesome. And there's some visual polish, so the indicator menus don't really belong in this way. They are like solid, they should be translucent. And there are some more intricate interactions for like the login box, because we need to accommodate some more advanced use cases. They're like changing the session menu, changing the desktop environment, and there's some error messages and login scenarios, and to make those possible with the UI, we need to be able to scale the login box. There's back button, drop-down menus, and confirmation messages. So there are some mock-ups of all these points. So now, here are some URLs to these documents. So, and there's another package for screenshots. So that's the current login screen design. It's quite.
Should we turn them on?
Yeah.
Lights. Everybody know where the lights?
No.
Is that nice?
Yeah.
That's better.
That's better. Yeah, that's nice. Cool. Thanks. Yeah, so if there's a quick recap of the architecture here is that so you have this carousel of usernames, and there's this little arrow which always indicates which user is currently logged on the system. There's the actual login box with password field, and it's kind of like we tried to design this to be as button free as possible. So like you don't have like explicit login buttons. When you start typing the password, the little arrow appears here telling you can tap here or just press enter and you will log in. And this logo indicates the session or desktop environment. And if you click on that, then you can change it like KD, install, no, recovery console. And so it's the menu bar. So top left we have the computer name, top right we have indicators, selected indicators. Bottom left is the Ubuntu and the version, and here the user wallpaper. And on top of that there is this subtle dot pattern overlay. Otto, did you want to say something more about this?
About the subtle dot pattern overlay. So just the a subtle introduction of the tessellation, which is going to be part of the ongoing branding. And just because we removed it obviously when you're in a session, but at this point it seems quite a nice way of just enforcing the fact that you can't get to the desktop and that it's sort of under the Ubuntu's control as opposed to the user.
Is it, sorry, is it worth capturing work items now as we start going through?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah, I guess as much as we want to give an update of this activity, like if you have encountered any issues with the feature, so it somehow doesn't work for you, if you want to have some features added, now is a good time to push them back. As John will make.
so what, do we need to add any work items for use the greeter as lock screen?
Well, it's not.
There's one item that's needed earlier.
Okay.
It's take two this cycle, and that's based on another blueprint that has technology change doing that last.
But past that technology changes in terms of actual changes from the greeter, this is just the normal greeter screen, right? Like there's not like a special walk screen. This is just
Yeah.
when they walk, you just bring them back to the greeter, right? There's no special UI, so that's easy.
The only discussion we've had there is like whether we want to show the carousel here, or should the carousel be faded out when you are in the lock screen. Yeah. So the starting point is it's exactly the same, but if we feel like that it should be just singularly the one.
I actually implemented it last cycle to have the carousel not there and the button.
All right.
So if we want that, we can do that.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just try it and see which one.
We just try and test it.
What's your IC? So another thing, there are a few items on there which differ from the current implementation in terms of changing the font size slightly, changing the positioning slightly. Do we want a work item to adjust those, or?
Can we give it?
Yeah, it's just something that's a carryover. As far as I knew, that we made some last minute changes in the greeter. I thought to make those changes.
Yeah, I think if we compare the visual design that we have today, I'm not sure whether changes have crept in, but I think if we compare the visual design we have today with the implementation, the font of the implementation is slightly larger than the font of the visual design, and needs to be reduced a little bit, and there are a few little small positioning issues.
Okay.
Why don't we make a note as well to introduce that into the font project?
Into the what project?
Font project.
Yeah.
So we can get a double check on it ideally before you have to go to the effort to make
Should I put that against you?
put it against MPT and Neil.
So we can maybe add the captured items to this document also. Alright. So if we move on the clicker-free transition, and
So
what that requires is this is just a mock-up of like you have the logging in and the Windows fadings.
yeah. So again, that's dependent on the same technology change that we need to do the lock screen. So
Right.
assign that one to me, and if we hopefully we'll get that technology in, and then these two things will be easy.
All right.
But right now they're really hard.
Yeah. All right.
So we don't need to work out something that's tracked separately. The flicker free and login
Oh,
transactions.
this is a big one.
Shall I give that to you?
Yeah, there's translucency also. I think we should probably look at the highlight code.
Do we need to produce like a higher fidelity mock-up?
Yeah,
also
you
kind
need
of-
to give us the timing and the transition shape.
Yeah. So maybe that
Yeah,
could be captured movie. Yeah. Movie of the transition. So yeah, the point 3 is the translucent indicator menus. This is basically a theming issue. So this is the current state. So and it's all quite blocky and solid, and kind of have visual theme to make it align with the rest of the grid, but is implementing that.
So
I had hoped that Jimmy would be here because
Yeah.
he was.
Did you ping him, John?
He's not online.
He promised.
He's on the phone.
last cycle, I tried to poke at the CSS to get some of this, and I got not terribly far. It seemed I ran into some, I think, problems with like the engine itself letting you make a menu completely transparent. Jimmy would know more.
Yeah.
I think we need him to do that.
No, I think he did say there were some issues. We might need to investigate a bit further. Anybody got his number? Text him. My phone's charging upstairs.
So I guess we need to assign something for Jimmy to tell us how to do it, and we'll do it.
Might give you more work item anyway.
What's next?
Oh, I have reception. All right. Well, we captured that, so we can follow up. Okay, this is more fantasy interaction stuff, so call it morphing box for the time being, but here you can see an example of like the desktop environment selection. So it's difficult to fit this many items into this box. So if you click on the logo here, you get the menu that lists all the available desktop environments.
So okay, so we have a morphing box today.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, right, true, yeah. But we have also like a actual visual design. So it's like, let's say morphing box update.
Okay.
So we just have to
And
match
we've settled on not reinforcing the icons there, have we?
Sorry?
We've settled on not reinforcing the icons.
Because the idea was there was dependency on how bit you need from the bottom.
On the right hand side. We're not
Yeah, no, sorry, I mean on the right hand side. But
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I didn't know.
Look, so they're made. So
Okay,
we have
maybe we
So-
should update this to you.
So then we
a little
have
note.
wrong screenshot for this.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the Ubuntu logo on the left should change.
says the action. Yeah. So if
Yeah,
you
yeah.
make a change in selection,
Yeah.
it'll.
So if you pick KDA or no, the logo will change to.
Yeah. And then we'll have a default that kind of
Yeah.
supports.
So- In terms of the animation here, you're using the back button. So currently, what happens is it stays in place and grows. And what I imagine you want here is not for the box itself to morph, but with the back button, you want it to come in from the right, fully sized, right?
Would it make sense if we can for us to do like another movie for you for this transition?
Sure.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm just saying your intention was for it to come from the right, right? It doesn't grow in place and then get a back button.
Yeah.
It allowed?
Yeah.
Fascinating. Because that's different than other very recent mock-ups you've shown me.
Have we got?
The user list used to slide off, and the box used to come in like that.
Yeah, not masked.
But now you're saying the user list fades out and the box grows up.
Yeah, we should do another video for this.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
About it for this.
Yeah, sure, you can do another video, but you're also saying you can't tell us which one of those two it is.
So the sliding left and right, that's out. So
Okay.
the morphing replaces that.
You- okay.
Yeah.
So Stuart showed me some mock-ups very recently that.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, you guys figure that out.
Yeah, similarly, there's like universal back button. which is vertically aligned to the next to the so that from there you can always go one step back in, let's say, password change password dialog, or go back from drop down.
That's done.
Yeah, so I knew this was coming, and I've been hacking and I've got that. So.
Yeah.
So assigned in theory and mark
Well, it hasn't landed yet.
it. Okay.
In progress.
Comment box.
And one that is like a new
What
component.
was the title of the last one?
Just back button. Which is like universally like.
I guess maybe we want to explain why we want to be centrally aligned back pattern.
Yeah, so if it's
Just because of
if then it stays in the same place because the box itself can grow up to a certain
Right.
height. So
And I think I talked to Stuart about this, but just so you guys know, that if you want it to be both center aligned with both the screen and the box, that implies that you always want the box to be an odd number of grid boxes.
yeah.
So just so you're okay with like a bit of empty space at the bottom or whatever, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, the grid pattern. Yeah, so enforces some accuracy there. Alright, next one, drop down menu. So this is so Stuart here has contributed a lot to this. At least this one comes from you. So like some more complex login scenarios, like it's a case where you click on login to in London, so that opens up a menu where you can select the domain to log into. So you select the domain, then you go back to the original screen, and the selection will be changed to the left hand side. And if you want to revert that, you just click back and you are where you started.
Yeah, and it just occurs to me seeing the tightness of that we should make a note to do some language checks as well. Language tight, isn't it?
Oh, right, like probably German, yeah.
Blow it
Yeah,
up.
See what we're going to do and have a little think about we're going to grow like an extra
You can just wrap the text,
Huh?
right? Wrap the text,
Sweet.
right?
Go higher.
We
Well, the please choose
Not-
a domain to log into could be choose a domain.
we still need to do that.
It's still in German, it might be
Yeah.
really
So-
long.
I think we should just make a note of that.
So one thing here is this drop down can potentially change the grid box size, which is fine. We can morph cleanly. However, that if there's other items in this list, how do you want us to? Do you want us to morph and push all the items out and that kind of stuff? Like the whole surrounding items would move with it, or whenever you drop down, do you want us to like fade out the other list items, or I don't know. Because the use
Do
for
you
that.
mean use the different users?
Yeah, so like imagine there were other entries in this list,
Yep.
and then I click this drop down, and the box size grows.
Yeah, I think we'd probably quite like to avoid
Hmm?
showing it. I think we'd probably quite like to avoid having to show scroll bars. So we'll
No,
be
we
aiming
should-
to
we
push to. Huh?
We shouldn't definitely shouldn't
Yeah,
scroll.
so we'll probably aim to have to expand to like a maximum height that's going to come to a red screen or a smaller screen that we support, I suppose.
Sure. So I'm fine with morphing the box.
Yeah.
That's not really my issue. My issue is what to do with the surrounding items outside the box as we grow. Do you want us to like fade out the other?
Carousel.
I'm sorry, what?
Like
The
the
carousel.
carousel.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
You fading out?
Yeah.
Or actually, that's got a back button. I noticed.
I guess anytime you have a back button, you should fade the carousel.
Yeah, that's
Okay. Yeah. I didn't see the back button there. I assumed.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right, so it's like magnified. It's just like magnification of the
Mhm.
screen. And,
Yeah. I just.
yeah, actually the arrow is also misaligned.
Yeah, it looks like it blows out of the cover.
Yeah. Yeah. Do we capture that?
Yeah.
I guess
I've got so action item for Michael to implement that. I want you to check the
Yeah.
text and translation strings.
I think the last item is to show a message and a spinner of the successful password entry. So this is give user more feedback that the password has gone through, and we're now waiting for the desktop community to load.
Yeah, so that's dependent on two, which is dependent on that other group.
All right,
So,
yeah.
sign that one to
Because this will be displayed until Unity is ready, and then
Yeah.
we do the page.
Yeah.
This is
So we also need a task on someone in Unity to work out when they're ready. That's traditional. We've tried this on Tickle before, and it's often hard to work out when you're ready to actually do that.
yeah.
What constitutes being ready?
You just
How that would be used in the
yeah.
Would it be more natural for the confirmation box in the middle instead of in the on the left?
We decided to move it to the left so as not to obscure the wallpapers, or to obscure the wallpapers as little as possible, rather than keeping it central.
It's basically composition issues. The whole the carousel and the login box and all the interactions take place in the left third of the screen.
You understand that?
Yeah.
But by the time when the confirmation box showed up, the carousel already gone.
Yes.
So would it make a big difference? I mean, it's kind of more natural if the box is in the middle. I mean, just
All of the movements, all of the mode movements are either in a vertical axis as you're moving the carousel up and down, or we've got the sliding, but everything's locked onto basically these two guides throughout the whole experience, no matter how many steps you're going through. So I think while we're in the group room, we need to keep things basically locked onto these guides, right? So they're not jumpy, you're doing everything on the left hand side and somebody wants something in the middle.
Yeah, so basically this is just one thing that's aligned to the others. So. All right. I think that's the last item to the update. So there are some credits that.
Is
Any comments at this point?
that all you want? Okay. I'm just saying.
When you look the screen, you have a pop-up message to unlock the screen. Is there any future design? Yeah, you have, when you lock the screen, you are in your Ubuntu system. When you lock the screen, it goes black, and when you try to log in again to unlock the screen, you have a message in the middle to
That's being request. That's being
So the
It should just be seamlessly replaced.
Should be if you look at the
The whole
top.
green.
Yeah.
basically this should be taken.
you can also change the views.
Yeah. And if the screen is black, you move the mouse or hit some of the keys, this would appear.
When you're using alternative authentication methods like LDAP or directory or whatever it is that's set up, can we also have it so that it perhaps always gives you the other entry? And I noticed when you were showing the remote session, you
Yeah.
obviously got choices of domains. So presumably that is really for sort of remote session login using XDCP.
Yeah. So the issue with that,
And the selection of the domain for an LDAP domain or an Active Directory domain.
that was always the plan. There's actually no way to really conclusively know that you're doing LDAP. Because the interface that gets from PAN, it's really up to the sysadmin what you configure. So, since we ship it by default only during local logins, you have to change the config to do that. So you have to change the associated config to tell light DM to always show the other if we need it. We can't infer it because it's just so many different ways to configure network logins. So we could do it with heuristics, but it would be unreliable. And
Where is that flag currently set? Is that
I like it.
Okay.
So you always have to basically manually tell the greetings to always show the other box.
Pardon?
You always have to tell, always have to modify like the end of
That's
box
right, yeah.
to say,
Yeah.
always show
So
up.
basically, we needed a manual, configure authentication. If you're going to pick a remote login system, you want to set this value as well, like you that's the problem with the PAN being such a generic system that
Yeah.
we cannot tell what it's actually doing. We can only do the prompts it provides.
Any other questions?
Any plans for the screensavers?
Not for the moment. Any plans for screensavers? That's not to say that turning the screen off saves energy, then the screensaver saves a bit less energy. And we need a good set of screensavers. Which you don't have at the moment.
And the problem with the screen lock is you're no longer running as your user when you get to the screen lock with this system. So we can't run the screensavers that you chose unless the system runs it. So if we were for a screensaver, the easiest one would be just a fixed screensaver. You wouldn't be able to choose per user either. It's doable, but there are issues with it. It's a security trade-off versus flexibility.
So actually, there's also the URL series. Anything else? It's late in the day.
Any comments? Any last questions?
There was a bug on idea not being able to print the wallpaper if it's not on the such pictures. Or what about when you have your critical directory?
Yeah.
You guys work on that and it's working?
So like, Unity Reader can't, like, given the home directory, it can't read wallpapers in your home directory, but yeah. I think we don't intend to fix that. I mean, like, the things you could do, work around that, or copy, the wallpaper to some place outside your home directory. I'm saying for us to fix that, the solution would be for the system to copy it, not you manually, but and then you get all sorts of weird problems with, like, keeping those in sync, and that's also kind of information leakage. Like, it's not clear if you have your home directory whether you necessarily
Want other people to know you.
right. It's kind of an implied opt out of like, please, my home is private stuff, so I don't necessarily want to share it with everybody else in the system. I don't know.
Yes, but at the same time, when you go to the login screen to log in, you see, I mean,
Not if you have encrypted home directory.
Yeah.
It's also the encrypted message. You cannot log in, you don't have access to your own record.
Right. I mean, that causes the bug. And the solution to that is just to copy it out of the home, but
So it's not clear if that's a kind of could be popular against. It might be desirable. Something to consider that is this due to the being to this best.
Is there anyone who's worked on or has any ideas in the or comments on the accessibility or right to left languages or that were part of the when did we have this in a year ago when we talked about this first time? Those were raised, yeah.
yeah. Well, I mean that's a whole Unity thing, right? Like, where is Unity on that?
We should probably say delete from the Unity desktop. There's not much point having a good greeter followed by a bad desktop.
Yeah, that was,
Particularly if like the indicators switch positions when you log in and stuff.
yeah, that was my comment as well.
Yeah.
So it should be.
Should stay alive with the desktop.
But out of curiosity, do you guys happen to know where the desktop is on that?
Not in the near future. Well, contributions welcome.
Do you guys have you guys provided like mock-ups for what that would look like?
No, we don't. On the long to-do list, it's not currently scheduled for the near future.
So design contributions welcome as well?
Yeah,
Flip it.
that would be the something we know we have to do and we want to do.
In one of the bug reports, there's a long discussion about why about that. Okay, done.
What's that document you are on?
Is it an iron or an L?
GLO.gl/.
The first one,
Yeah.
LM capital T 7, either 0 or capital O.
I think it's a capital IM
It's early, yeah.
because I don't see the little tail on the bottom.
Oh, right, yeah, sorry, you're right.
Could be I.
Sorry, you want to start over?
When can you post them into Does anybody just post them into the IRC channel? That'd be the easiest thing.
You're so clever.
Oh yeah,
I guess I can. Hold on.
Yeah, the screensavers.
No, I don't have network.
No, I just kind of thought if you were to do something, then maybe we could do something a bit like we do with the dash, where it utilises the colours or something. You know, so
Yeah.
to have one thing, but
Do you know what
it's
I mean by
tailored
the
because
font
of
size?